Hello, my name is Milo and welcome to my rural DoorDash ride-along. You saw the video title and you're probably wondering why in the world would I be accepting 100 consecutive DoorDash orders. I'm not doing it to hop on a trend, although maybe the trend will help my view count, but I don't do a lot of cherry picking. I do a lot of accepting most of the orders I'm sent anyway. Yesterday, I declined 6 orders in a row, which is unusual for me because I was unhappy with the stuff DoorDash was sending me. And my acceptance rate is down to 80%, which I think is the lowest it's ever been. My reward for completing a 100% acceptance rate is going to be driving to Corvallis, which is the nearest non-rural market to me, where I have dashed before, but go there and do a full day of cherry picking. I'm starting off with a Safeway shopping order. It doesn't look like it's going to be terribly difficult to shop for. It's going a little bit outside of the zone to the south. That's okay. It's paying nearly $20, and it's taking advantage of the peak pay that was going to run out in less than 10 minutes. So this is a great start. Wouldn't it be cool if the whole day was like this? Next offer is $5 for 3 miles from Starbucks. Unremarkable, but probably quick and easy order to do. Well, I don't actually like this offer, but I'm accepting every offer for 100 offers, so here we go, $7, 10 miles going to Dairy Queen. After going to Toledo to pick up and drop off Dairy Queen, driving back to Newport, I'm almost back to the center of town, and I get this offer from Momiji. It is worse than the one to Toledo I just did. It's $2 for 3 miles. This is a no tip. Well, it got better because I got an add-on for $5 and change from Starbucks, and Starbucks and Momiji are in the same building, so I was already there. And the Starbucks drop-off is on the way to the Momiji drop-off. And then when I saw the name on the order at Momiji, I realized I sort of know this person, or I know this person's family, and I'm immediately much less offended by the lack of tip. Well, this is serendipitous. I just got an Uber Eats offer for $27 to deliver from Asiatico up to Lincoln City. The reason that I like this and why I'm accepting this and pausing DoorDash for a moment is because I need to be in Lincoln City tonight, and I was planning to dash up until that commitment, so I'm taking this Uber Eats offer to get me to Lincoln City, and then I'm going to restart DoorDash when I get there and just be in that zone instead. One thing that was nice about that Uber Eats offer, and that I've noticed about Uber Eats kind of in general over the last week and a half that I've started using Uber Eats with multi-apping, is that Uber Eats contributes more base pay than DoorDash does on the long-distance offers. Like this one had $21 base pay. The other thing I noticed, if you decline an offer and they send it back to you, on DoorDash, usually they stack it with a different offer to try and repackage it and make it look better. On Uber Eats, they actually increase the pay on it. Or at least that has been my experience in this marketplace. And now I have a Safeway shopping order. And my next offer is another $9 shopping order, this time from Grocery Outlet. I have never been in the Lincoln City Grocery Outlet, but the one in Newport I find very difficult to do on DoorDash. They have like rotating stock, and they don't always carry everything at every location at the same time, and so what DoorDash thinks they have may not actually be what they have. As expected, that was difficult. Actually, some of the items I found just fine, but everything that was not there had no shelf tag because they don't carry it. So I definitely lost some points on my original items found, which might drop me out of pro shopper status. I'll find out later. That was a lot of groceries to lug to that person's apartment door, which I could not park very close to. I tried to see if I could switch over to Earn by Time so I could avoid the shopping orders, but they're not letting me do it. Earn by Time is still unavailable. But my next offer is from Taco Bell, $7, 2 miles, so this should be so much easier. All right, next is a McDonald's offer. I believe the offer card said $6 for 5 miles. After dropping off that McDonald's, I was driving back toward the center of town, and then I got an offer from a place that I just drove past, so I'm going around the block to go pick this one up. And I am immediately going right back to the same restaurant for another pickup. This one is paying more. And now, after waiting for a while with both DoorDash and Uber Eats turned on, I finally got a new offer. It is a $12 plus catering order from Zeller's Bar and Grill. I'm excited to see how much this ends up being. So the total on that order ended up being $21.52, which is nice. I don't know, does that qualify as a unicorn? What's the cutoff for what's considered a unicorn? Regardless, it was very good. And then I got a shopping offer from Walgreens for $21.82. I didn't bother looking at the shopping list because I knew the whole name of the game is that I have to accept no matter what it is. Well, it actually wasn't too bad. I did have to ask for help to find a couple things. There was one item that was out of stock. I had a shelf tag that I could take a picture of. My ratings are unhurt. That delivery had a hidden tip. I didn't remember seeing a plus sign, but it went up to $33. Once again, I was leaving the south end of town to try and get closer to the hot spots, and then I got an offer from the south side of town. So I just had to find a place to turn around, but now I am picking up from Highway 101 Burger for $6. This is looking like it's gonna be my last delivery of the day before I have to go to my other commitment. It is from 60's Diner. That order is picked up. I'm gonna drop it off, and then I'm gonna be done for the day. I will, by the end of this delivery, be at, I think, $175 and about 115 miles in 7 hours. So that means my pace has been over 20 an hour. I think I really lucked out today. I don't know if it's gonna be that good every day. I'm starting off my Tuesday morning with a $2.68 Burger King offer. Next is a $7.95 offer from Taco Bell, which sounds better than the one with a 40-some cent tip, except it's going all the way to Toledo. Then I drove back to Newport and waited for close to an hour with both DoorDash and Uber Eats open and got no offers from either, and I got fed up. And I have so much stuff that I gotta get done at home today, so I'm just gonna go home. All right, let's start Wednesday off on the right foot. This is an offer from Rise. It is $5. It's not a bad offer. It's just that Rise is right across from the high school, and it's either lunch period or passing period because kids are all over the place, and it looks like there's a line out the door. Next is a $4 Starbucks offer. The next offer was a $5 Walgreens order going 10 miles to Toledo. Actually, I think it's only 8 miles because it likes to route me the wrong way around into Toledo when it's that part of town. When I got the offer, I was in the left turn lane and I needed to go straight through the light to get to Walgreens. So I had to go around the block and wait for traffic. And in the middle of that, the customer messaged me, "Milo, please hurry." And you know, when someone writes a message and you don't know the person, it's really hard to read their tone. I immediately got defensive, but then with the rest of the conversation, I'm thinking maybe this is just someone who has an odd sense of humor, or it might actually be a child. There's a reason I would not have accepted that offer if I wasn't doing this challenge. Jesus. The one item at Walgreens was sunscreen. It was 2 people who were out sunbathing and hadn't planned ahead for sunscreen. Approaching the door to drop it off, and then they're calling to me from the yard, so I'm like, okay, I'll just hand it to you, that's fine. And as I'm driving away, I get a message, "Milo, it's broken." And so I'm like, well, what do I do? Because I can't go back to the store and get a replacement on my own dime. I mean, I could, but I'm already losing money on this order as it is. That's not worth it to me. And I could offer to go back and see if I could help them open it if they're just incompetent at opening the thing, but if I offer to do that, then that seems like I'm engaging with the customer in a way that could be considered inappropriate because they're out sunbathing and might possibly be underage. I'm like pulling over trying to figure out how to respond to this. I'm about to say like, well, that's unfortunate. Then she responded, wait, never mind, I fixed it, have a wonderful day. One of the things that frustrates me most in this world is when technology does not work. I got back to Newport and the app was showing no hotspots available, which always means there's a glitch. And I tried everything from restarting the app to restarting the phone. Nothing was working. I'm gonna go run some errands, and if I can cool off, I'll start again in maybe like an hour. All right, I took a little break. I'm back. I'm starting with a $4.50 offer from McDonald's. Next is a $5.85 offer from Taco Bell. Well, I had to wait for quite a while. I mean, it is the middle of the afternoon. It's not prime time. Then I got an $8 McDonald's order, which is actually not bad. Next is a $3 Starbucks offer. I think I'm probably gonna call it after this one. New day, not gonna do a whole lot today, but I'm right in the middle of lunch shift, so hopefully that will help. I'm starting with a $4 offer from Barge Inn Tavern. And DoorDash didn't immediately have another order for me. And then I got this $3 Uber Eats offer from Starbucks. That's not great, and I don't actually have to take every Uber Eats order. That's not the name of the challenge. But I figured I'd rather do something than sit and wait, so after I dropped that off, turned DoorDash back on, I wasn't getting an offer right away, so I turned to go to the post office to check the mail, and then I got on TripRadar a possible match for pickup from Taste of India going to Toledo for $12. I tried to match to it, but I was too late. But it ended up being just as well, because then DoorDash sent me a $6 offer from Lucky Tie Elephant, which is going less far. And now I have a $6 Safeway shopping order. Very small shopping order, should be a piece of cake. Yet again, a short day, but it was not a bad day. Today actually went a lot better than the last 2 short days. It is Friday, May 1st, and I have a pretty open schedule today. I'm going to dash several hours this morning and then come back out in the evening. I'm starting out with a Safeway order. It is one item for $5. That shouldn't be too bad, right? Well, guess what the item is? Assorted donuts. This particular Safeway doesn't have pre-boxed assorted donuts. You have to pick them off the shelf. Which I'm not sure if that's actually legal for me to do food handling on the platform, but Safeway at this location has you do it. The customer messaged me and said, could you avoid any filled donuts? Like, I don't even eat donuts. Like, I'm not sure that I will identify which ones are likely to have filling. So I'm like, I hope I'm doing this right. It ended up being a hand to customer, and he said, I like the assortment. So I think I did okay, and he added another $1 to the tip. So now I've got a Walgreens order, and interestingly, this contains alcohol. So I did the training for alcohol delivery, and then they would never let me opt in. So I've never opted in, and now I still have an offer for it. This is the first time I've done it. I have done age-restricted delivery with, like, cold medicine, so I can't imagine it's going to be too terribly different, other than I need to make sure the person appears sober. The app prompted me to ask the cashier for an alcohol delivery sticker on the bag, which they don't do at this Walgreens. So I contacted support to ask what I was supposed to do. The chatbot did not understand my question. So we left without the sticker. He had his ID ready. He did not appear intoxicated to me. Followed the steps in the app to make sure the delivery was by the book. And next up is a Starbucks delivery. Next up is a $7.48 offer from Fred Meyer's. Well, that might be the end of my pro shopper status unless I luck out with another old offer dropping off the back end of it. But I had a bakery item I could not find, and I asked for help. And even with help, we couldn't find it, couldn't find a shelf tag. So, that's unfortunate. Now, I'm doing a delivery from McDonald's, going to Toledo, $6 for 8 miles. I'm not very happy about this. And now I'm going back to McDonald's for an Uber Eats offer. It's $20. It's going to Depot Bay. Really, is it actually that great? But I'm hoping that by doing this, it's gonna fill the time until lunch gets busy. Made that Uber Eats delivery in Depot Bay, came back to Newport, waited a little bit, and now I've got a $14 stacked Taco Bell order. This is actually pretty good. Now I've got a Fred Meyer shopping order. It is $11 10 miles, which is not amazing, but this supposedly will help me regain my pro shopper status. We'll see if that's correct, because there have been times where the offer card has told me that and it was lying. All right, logging back in the evening, ready to go for Friday night dinner shift, and the app had crashed, but now it's working. Look at that, another alcohol order. Safeway Beer and Wine and McDonald's. 2 customers, looks like one of them is way north. Now it's not letting me load directions to the store. That is a problem. Oh boy. I think the outage is not totally fixed. I might be screwed. Well, I was able to get back on the app when I arrived at Safeway, and I completed checkout, and then the app is still logged in, but it won't let me open navigation to get to McDonald's. So, we're not out of the woods yet. And then on my way to McDonald's, my McDonald's customer asks me if everything's okay. I'm like, I'm on a stacked order and the app keeps crashing. I'm doing the best I can. And then I get to McDonald's and they give me an add-on for another Safeway pickup, which I have to take because that's the name of the game. And I still can't get navigation to load. Fortunately, I know my way around Newport. And on my way back to Safeway, I got an add-on for Fred Meyer. Oh my gosh, I'd like the add-ons to stop so that I can complete all of these and actually get the alcohol to Depot Bay, because that person's gonna wonder what's taking so long. I'm finally taking the alcohol to Depot Bay, and for this one, I'm opening Google Maps to navigate me there because DoorDash still doesn't want to do navigation. Fortunately, everything else in the app is working now. Once again, had no issue with the alcohol delivery. It actually was north of Depot Bay. It was so far outside the zone, it was in the next zone over. But the app did not give me the option to switch zones for some reason, which doesn't matter. I didn't want to anyway. On the drive back to Newport, I got another shopping offer from Safeway that contains alcohol again. It was funny, as I was in the checkout line at Safeway, the cashier said, "I'll probably see you again soon because it's really busy tonight." And sure enough, after completing that delivery, with no issues with the ID check or any of that, I got another Safeway offer. This one does not look like it contains alcohol. And there was a hidden tip on that. It actually ended up being about double the original offer card, which is lovely. It's only 8 o'clock, and I could probably keep going and stay busy, but I'm really tired. My allergies have been so bad today. I'm gonna take tomorrow off. Tomorrow is a Loyalty Days parade in Newport, and parades mean closed roads and heavy traffic and difficulty parking, and I don't want to deal with that. I took Saturday off. I'm back on Sunday night, and I'm doing Earn by Time because I would rather not do a bunch of shopping orders. I was hoping that I'd be able to just do a bunch of food delivery, short distance, and make it quick and snap through a whole bunch of offers quickly. But the first offer I got on Earn by Time is 11 miles. Now I have a Starbucks offer. It's going less than a mile. And now I have another less than a mile delivery. This one's from McDonald's. Well, I had to wait probably 10-15 minutes there, and then I got an offer from Taste of India, going about 2.5 miles. And now I have got a Burger King offer going, I believe, 2.8 miles. And now I have a Taco Bell offer that is going all the way up to Toledo. But you know, I have actually lucked out. Every single offer tonight has had a tip on it. Well, what made this even sweeter was when I got to Taco Bell, I got an add-on for a second Taco Bell pickup that was also going to Toledo. So that set of 2 orders going to Toledo combined were $24.99 on Earn by Time. So I'm now at over $60 at not quite 50 miles. So I can drive back into Newport to wait for another offer and still not be upside down even after those dead miles, which I really, really like. So I went back to Newport and waited for close to half an hour and got nothing. So I finally switched out of Earn by Time, and now I got a Safeway shopping order for $5. And now I've got a $4 and change offer from Taco Bell going also 4 miles. I think I'm gonna wrap up the night with this offer. This is a $17 Safeway shopping order for 14 miles. It's going well out of the zone to the east, and by the time I'm done with this, I'm gonna be tired and ready to be done. So this customer ordered a couple of deli items. The deli was closed for the day, so we had to do some substitutions. Fortunately, she was very responsive and acknowledged she forgot that the deli closes early. I'm gonna go drop this off, and then I'm gonna be done for the night.